Hey everyone, I want to talk about something important today.
If you have a natural dislike for Mark Zuckerberg, I'm going to help you with that. This guy who built $1 billion empire around the sophomoric and sexist practice of rating women's looks online, well, now he's giving you a reason to turn that dislike into outright loathing. Zuckerberg announced in an online video that Facebook and Instagram would end their current fact-checking process and instead model themselves after this guy, Elon Musk, and X. But wait, there's more. Zuckerberg not only visited Mar-a-Lago to bend the knee for the First Lady, but he's blaming the media and the government for his decision to remove the process of protecting people on Facebook from lies and obfuscation, like the Russians used in 2016 to do, among other things, spread stories like Pizzagate, where Republicans pushed a story that Hillary Clinton was drinking baby's blood in the basement of a DC pizza parlor.
Because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram. I started building social media to give people a voice. I gave a speech at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression, and I still believe this today. But a lot has happened over the last several years. There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more. A lot of this is clearly political, but there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation. These are things that we take very seriously, and I want to make sure that we handle responsibly. So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people. And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship. The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms.
All right, a couple points about government and media censorship. The media can censor whatever they like. I mean, what you don't say is as protected as much as what you do say, with the caveat that you can't knowingly tell a lie, or as was the case with Facebook, propagate a lie that hurts innocent people. When Facebook allowed Republicans and Russians to post lies and then contributed to the debate as Facebook users, they had one goal: to stir unrest during an election year and elect Donald Trump. Facebook saw huge profits, huge, billions of dollars, and they did it by lying to voters about their personal information. All right, Trump's 2016 presidential campaign used the Facebook harvested data to build psychographic profiles, determining users' personality traits based on their Facebook activity. Trump used the information from micro-targeting, displaying customized messages about Trump to different voters on various digital platforms. Ads were segmented into different categories, mainly based on whether individuals were pro-Trump or against him. As described by the Cambridge Analytica CEO, the key was to identify those who might be enticed to vote for their client or be discouraged to vote for another one. Now, that's unethical, but not illegal, unless you deceived Facebook users and then knowingly allowed Trump and the Russians to lie, which is what Zuckerberg did. And for the record, this.
But there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation.
Child exploitation? Try asking the guy who visited Epstein's child rape island 7 times.
More specifically, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US. So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system.
Ah, I see. So now Zuckerberg is Aristotle, debating the concept of truth. But it's not that hard. When Mitt Romney, a Republican, debates the Democratic policies on taxation, opinions flow freely. But when Trump lies about COVID, or how the election was stolen, or lies about what he said in public, and Facebook allows them on the platform and then encourages back and forth debate or fighting to allow more and more ads to be shown, or use your data to bomb your online experience, well, you see their responsibility. And after January the 6th, Facebook Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube responded to the insurrection with decisive action, suspending thousands of accounts that had spread election lies and removing posts glorifying the attack on the U.S. democracy. But since 2021, there's been a dramatic transformation. The shift occurred because an intimidation campaign led by Republicans aimed at forcing social media companies to publish lies and hate speech while thwarting those working to limit the spread of content that has been proven dangerous. I mean, think about it. Do you think there would have been a January 6th without Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube?
We're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse. What started as a movement to be more inclusive has increasingly been used to shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far. So I want to make sure that people can share their beliefs and experiences on our platforms.
Mainstream discourse, immigration, and gender, Facebook is going to allow comments like this.
The transgender thing is incredible. Think of it. Your kid goes to school and comes home a few days later with an operation. The school decides what's going to happen with your child. And many of these childs 15 years later say, what the hell happened? Who did this to me?
And immigration?
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
Trump lies multiple times every day, and now Facebook is willing to run with those lies because Trump won and Zuckerberg is worried about his very flawed business model.
We're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms. We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation. Now, we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high-severity violations. And for lower-severity violations, we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action. The problem is that the filters make mistakes, and they take down a lot of content that they shouldn't. So by dialing them back, we're going to dramatically reduce the amount of censorship on our platforms.
Look, at any other time, this would fly, but Zuckerberg goes to Mar-a-Lago, home of a man who has told 40,000 verifiable lies since 2016.
We won Georgia easily. We won it by hundreds of thousands of votes.
And no, not small lies like, no, your butt doesn't look big in those pants, but the kind of lies that can topple a democracy. Zuckerberg will follow Musk and Trump's brand of lying about everything from vaccines to election results to immigration and racist attacks and eventually attacks on U.S. citizens who lack the financial resources to defend themselves. And of course, lies that prompt attacks on U.S. citizens by extremist groups.
In the good old days, this doesn't happen because they used to treat them very, very rough. And when they protested once, they would not do it again so easily.
We're also going to tune our content filters to require much higher confidence before taking down content. The reality is that this is a trade-off. It means we're going to catch less bad stuff.
Well, he just said it. Facebook will not remove lies, and that means Trump will have 4 years to attack individuals and political opponents and lie with impunity.
We're bringing back Civic content. For a while, the community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed, so we stopped recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again. So we're going to start phasing this back into Facebook, Instagram, and Threads while working to keep the communities friendly and positive.
Zuckerberg himself is a pretty good liar, and when he says that people want politics back on Facebook, he means Trump. But Trump and Zuckerberg will soon share more than just a twisted political relationship. They are on their way to being the most hated people in the world. Oh wait, this just in. They already are.
Goddamn right.
To use my words against me, and you'd be absolutely right.
That is crazy.
They're eating the dogs.
You're an idiot.
Trust me.
Shut the fuck up, Dan.
Who's with me?
Oh, yeah, the lie.
Indictable.
Out of sheer morbid curiosity, I'm allowing this freak show to continue.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes. Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.